your website serves a lot of different purposes. It's a leasing tool. It's for your prospects. It's for your residents. But a landing page is solely for your prospects.
So
You're listening to Reply Talk, a podcast designed to provide actionable marketing strategies and valuable insights around apartment marketing, hosted by Corbin Wright.
All right. Here we go. Community websites.
let's do it.
Don't overcomplicate things. That's what we're talking about today. Community websites.
Don't go cheap.
Yeah, don't go cheap. Yeah, let's start out with that.
Don't stop.
Like,
Can we do this? Because when we went to that event in Tampa,
multifamily forum, right?
yeah, the multifamily forum. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, how much money are you spending on these assets? And you want to spend
How much? You want to balk at $5,000 on a website?
Yeah, like, 100 or 1,000% of the money that you spent on, this beautiful asset, right? And you're gonna show it off on this shitty website, this really cheap website. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you know what? Why don't I just take a bunch of really awesome photos of my Droid phone too?
Why don't you tell us how you really feel?
It's wild, man.
This is a touchy subject, huh?
And it has nothing to do with the fact that we do websites. It's just like, just the thought process of it.
Yes.
Right? All this money on a beautiful, beautiful complex, high rise, whatever it might be, and then you spend no money on how you advertise it digitally, which is where most people start to see your property.
Yeah. That's your digital
storefront.
Your
favorite
community. It's just, it showcases everything. That's what people see before they even walk in the leasing office. They've already scoped you out. They've looked everywhere.
You drive by 100 times, right? And go home, do it on their phone at the stoplight, right? Or at the traffic light when they pass your community. They get you get to a red light. They're probably like, "Oh, that place looks really awesome. I'm trying to move," and then
you get there,
the website's not mobile friendly.
It's like Flintstones.
Well,
website.
Or even like you get to the traffic light, right? And this is a whole other topic for another day, but it takes 20 seconds to load, 15 seconds to load. They can't even look at it while they're at a traffic light because your website's not mobile friendly and it's not fast.
They shouldn't look at it at a traffic light.
They shouldn't, but people do a lot of shit they're not supposed to do, and that's one of them. We can talk about that another day. But
so you're right. It drives me nuts too that these assets, you spend millions of dollars on it, whether hundreds of millions of dollars on it, whether you are repositioning it or whether you're building it from the ground up. It is it's crucial to have a good website now. Like, this is the era. This is the time to make sure that you are putting money towards a budget that supports a good website. And you don't have to spend, like, a good website doesn't cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. A great website can cost tens of thousands of dollars, depending on what integrations you have and what and how far you want to go with the automation and the intuitiveness and online leasing. So it can be really expensive, but then that's where you got to evaluate, like, what's your goal? Is this a long-term hold? Is this a short-term? Are you just gonna are you gonna sell it? Are you gonna build it, lease it up?
But even if you're gonna sell it, right? If you sell it,
that is one thing that's valuable, that it can go.
You will sell it quicker, right?
Yes.
With a better website
True.
that is responsive and is easy to navigate, has great photos, great video, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't see that as like as a valuable piece of the journey or valuable piece of people finding the property, right? It's like, oh, I know a company that'll do it for $1,000, or we'll go cheap on this website. We're going to sell it in 6 months. And then there you are 9-10 months down the road. And you're like, well, shit, we're sitting at 75%. I can't sell this damn thing. What the hell do I do now?
Yep.
And then
you're under fire.
Then you'll find anybody and everybody who's trying to sell you a website and this and that. And you can do this. It's just like, do it right from the beginning.
Yes.
Basics, right? Have a really nice website, really nice storefront.
Yep. And you don't overcomplicate things. So this is like the main topic of this podcast. Community websites, don't overcomplicate things. And what I mean by that is just keep it. You can keep it simple.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Simple, stupid. And by keeping it simple, you have to understand the customer journey, and it's a shopping process. And by not overcomplicating it, it means being able to have content that's valuable at your fingertips. So easily being able to scroll through, making sure that it pops up quick, that your website's fast, that you have great pictures, that you have the ability to schedule a tour, that you have the ability to see pricing and make sure that it's actually visible. You do not want somebody to get to your website and not know what to do. You want to make sure that it's very simple and it's very easy to be able to receive information. And you also have to put into consideration with SEO and everything like that. So that's where pages do come, just having a single scroll isn't always good unless you have pages in your structure of your website. So there's a lot of moving parts to these websites. But when it comes to navigation, keep it simple. You don't need all these bells and whistles and all these things coming in and you don't need your website to not have a menu or you have a menu that pops up some weird way. Like all these animations.
It's all about timing.
Yes.
Right. And when and where are people or prospects coming to your website, right? And is it also friendly for your residents to use, or do they have a resident portal that they use differently?
Yep.
And we can talk about how you're measuring traffic to the resident portal page and all that other stuff, but what role is your website playing in the digital journey for a prospect, right? Is it something that they're seeing first? Is it something that they're seeing down the middle of the road or towards the end, right? And what calls to action, what things do you have in place to handle both parts of, all those parts of that journey?
It's a good point. Your website serves a lot of different purposes. It's for your prospects. It's for your residents. It's for your team. That's a leasing tool.
Yeah.
A lot of times you run out of brochures or flyers. Like a lot of the times you're going through and you as a leasing agent, you're using your website to sell your property. So there's nothing worse than going to, you want to be able to go to your website and show it off. You want to be able to send it to people. You don't want to be that person. It's like, our website's pretty crappy, so I'd rather give you one of our brochures.
Check out our Instagram instead.
Yeah. So
look at our Facebook. No.
So next big important part, making sure it's responsive.
Yeah.
And this is keeping it simple. This is a basic, but mobile first.
Yeah.
Mobile first.
We talked about this in the car the other day, right? I wish you could do it inside out, mobile to desktop.
Well, that's what we focus on. That is
course.
making sure that the mobile experience is great.
Yeah.
That it matches the desktop experience. But it really is the desktop experience should match the mobile experience because that's what 80% of your traffic average is coming from. It's coming from mobile. People are going to your website from their phone, from their tablets. Not so much of tablets. It's a smaller percentage. But when you are shopping for a website or you're shopping for a vendor, look at their mobile sites. Don't just base it off of their desktop site because that's what we are used to as marketers and working in the multifamily. We're always on our laptops. Yes, we're always on our phone, but when we're doing some heavy research and we're pulling our reports and everything, you can only log into RealPage and stuff on desktop. You're on your desktop.
Yeah.
So make sure that you are going through and you're navigating these websites and shopping for these websites with mobile first in mind.
Yeah.
Because, man, it can really screw up your leasing if it's not a great mobile experience.
Well, yeah, and even from from Google's perspective, their AMP pages and things of that nature, they're pushing fast mobile sites, right? So if your website's not mobile friendly and it's not fast, Google doesn't like you very much, right? And 80-90% of search queries anymore, if not more, are going through Google. So, like it or not, you better meet their requirements or you better start doing things that they like, right? You're more likely to show up that way. So if you want to ignore them, good luck.
And it plays into your advertising too. So where's everybody send their traffic to? their website. We do things differently. We send paid traffic to landing pages to improve the experience, to make sure that experience is great. And with a landing page, you have stronger call to actions, and it's a landing page is specifically for your prospects. So like we mentioned before, your website serves a lot of different purposes. It's a leasing tool. It's for your prospects. It's for your residents. But a landing page is solely for your prospects.
Yep.
It tells them what to do. So we send our paid traffic to landing pages because it's a more tailored experience, and we're guiding them to do what we want them to do, which is submit a form or call and inquire more information. It's part of that funnel.
Yeah, I was going to say it's all about the funnel, right?
Yep.
Where does paid search? Right? It's why apartments.com is very successful, right?
Yeah.
Apartments.com is a landing page.
Big old landing page.
Big old landing page, right? And what people don't realize is like apartments.com is very successful because it's one landing page that gets people to submit their information, strong calls to action. They have all the information that they need, but not everything that's on your website.
Yep.
Right? And a lot of leads come through apartments.com.
And then where does it send you?
It sends you right to the website, right? And
Guides you, funnels you down to the website. Yes.
Right. It's all about the funnel. Where does paid search play a role in your funnel? Right? And that's how you segment the pages that you're sending that traffic to.
Yep.
But, if you send them to the website, send somebody to the website that's searching for apartments near me, right? That's a very top part of it. That's the broadest part of the most open part of the funnel. They're not ready for your website yet.
Nah.
Definitely not ready for your website yet.
And it also plays into functionality too. So they're not ready to necessarily schedule a tour yet. You're still building trust with them. So it's part of this digital trust, building it all. They're still kind of thinking about it.
What's it like? What do they have, and what's their special?
Yeah.
Right. The things that people in the top part of the funnel really want to know. What's your special? What's it look like? Right. What are all the amenities that they have? Where's it located? And that's kind of it, right? They're still early on in their search, or they're maybe in the, early mid stages of their search, right? That you got to remember what they care about at that point.
Yeah.
Right. And then they'll come back to your website and they'll spend more time on the site.
We're in a saturated, a lot of these markets are saturated. There's a lot of
worse.
It's going to get worse, but you're right. And there are people that disagree. Well, they want to know price. They want to know it now. There are pre-qualifiers. Yes. But they're not ready to get into the full-on search of the pricing. I'm not saying all of them are, but with this funnel, you start out slow. You get them bought in. You show them what the pretty things, the special offer. Oh, okay, now I can see myself living here.
Right.
I want to redeem this offer. I want something. I want that valuable, thing that you're offering me, and then push them on and you push them on to pricing. Okay, well now this is, I can see myself paying that. Yeah. I can do that. And it's just part of a big funnel of getting them to be where you want them to be.
Right.
Giving them all the tools necessary to reach you and get more information.
Right. Let's hop back into websites for a little while because I saw a really good note on here about photography, video, and things like that, right? Like the most popular social media platforms that you get served, or Gary Vee reposts this one meeting or this one speech that he had on CNBC a long time ago when he said Instagram was a steal for $1 billion when Facebook bought it, and everybody called him crazy, right? But look at it. Videos, photos, right? That's what people love visual. Quality video, that love the visual part of it, right?
Yeah.
So why would you spend all this money on an asset and not spend a little bit of money to showcase it, right?
Absolutely.
You have renderings for a year.
Yeah. Let's switch it up. Yeah. Let's get you the real thing. And and that's part of the cost. That's part of the budget. Making sure that you're budgeting for great photography and video.
Yep.
It's just so crucial.
Yeah.
Even in like single family real estate. Of course. And here's the thing. A lot of people in this industry at a higher level have not rented an apartment in a long time.
Yeah.
So a lot of us are homeowners. A lot of us are haven't rented an apartment, been through this whole process since we were in college or post-college. And, you really got to think about and relate it to things that you have done now. So if you're on Zillow or something and you're looking at all these homes, like the first thing you do is you're looking at the pictures. You got to picture yourself being there, living there.
You want to see all the rooms. You want to see all the stairs. You want to see all the corners of everything, so you can see where all your furniture fits, right? But go rent an apartment. You get a couple cool shots of the model and a rendering of what it might look like or what it looked like a year and a half ago, or something along those lines. Is like
you start to lose trust.
Yeah.
So it's all about it's selling the dream.
I mean, you cause more questions than giving answers, right? I'm there to find answers. I want to know what it's going to look like, and just because I have questions doesn't mean I'm going to call you, right? It doesn't mean that I'm going to drive over there, right? Most likely, I'm just going to go to something else that shows me more.
And with photography and video, we are so used to seeing photos and videos every single day. Yes, they grab our attention, but it's the really good ones that grab your attention.
Right.
It's the attention because we subconsciously pay attention to the quality. Mm-hmm. And you'll know. And when you're scrolling, even through Instagram or you're on Snapchat or you're on Facebook, you stop on the good stuff.
Yep.
So really making sure that you're paying attention to the quality of the photography and video.
Absolutely.
It's not just all about photography and video.
No.
It is the quality of it.
Sure.
And then also it is important to have great content because Google and they look for those things. But really, photography and video, focus on that. And then this kind of doesn't really play into it, but the prospect journey, touched on this a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Understand it. Understand your resident's journey or your prospect's journey through acquisition, inquiring, to leasing.
Yeah. And it's also about understanding the funnel too. I know we're talking about websites, right? But we talked about landing pages. When they get to your website, when they come back to your website, what's it look like? There's just and there's so many tools out there now. One of the easiest tools that I don't think a lot of people use to their advantage is Google Analytics.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of people don't take the time to understand how important Google Analytics can be, and there's a lot of steps, right? But if you take the time to learn it, or you take the time to go through it with somebody that knows it,
set it up properly,
you can really understand how your journey looks, what it looks like,
and where something is broken.
Right.
Yeah. And not only and it's a really good point. Not only can you see that journey, and you can get pretty granular with it too.
Real granular.
And if you have your goals set up properly, you have all of your analytics set up properly,
your site structure,
your event tracking, you can really see what people are doing. And it's not necessarily, I don't think it's the case of like being able to attribute one person to that specific lease. It's volume at this point. Like you need to understand the volume aspect of it when it comes to your marketing decisions and your advertising decisions. Right. So getting granular with that whole process and understanding where your apartments.com traffic is coming from and where they're going and what that journey is and where your paid traffic is coming through. You can get extremely granular with that, and those are the things that I like to focus on because it'll tell you a pretty good picture.
I'm a nerd for data. You saw me in there one day running through referral traffic reports and all that kind of stuff to show quality and what source was giving me this, what source was how much time are they spending, how many pages, why this is important, why that's not important, what's this, what's that. It's worth it to spend the time. But we could talk about Google Analytics between the two of us for quite some time.
The reason why I like Google Analytics so much is because there's no question on the data reconciliation.
Right.
Like, that data reconciles to your traffic. Like, that's accurate.
Yeah.
Google is really good at what they do.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that property management companies, reporting and stuff is completely wrong. I think that there's a lot of cases where companies grow so quickly or it just doesn't get set up right in the beginning, and you can't track it properly, and that data does not reconcile. And this is a global issue in the multifamily industry with data reconciling and people understanding there being this like base set of data and like data points that multifamily is agreed on, that like this means this means this. There's so much in question. That's why they're trying to redo this whole system. But one thing with Google Analytics is like that's data that you can really use that's reliable. And you can be extremely strategic with your marketing decisions if you take the time to look into it and learn about it.
Yeah.
Set it
Absolutely.
up properly. All right. Well, what's the next little topic on here?
Well, we went way off track
I
talking
know.
about analytics.
That's all right.
All that other stuff. But I think we kind of covered everything, right? Keep it simple, right? Don't go cheap,
Yeah.
right? But hold the website company accountable. Make sure that they're taking the time to understand your prospect's journey, understand the role in the journey that your website plays. Good photos, good video. Those are things that you need to pay attention to. What else? What else have we covered?
My last thing. Strong call to action.
Yeah.
Valuable call to action. They want
Timely call to action. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want it to be intrusive, but make sure that you're telling them what you want them to do. Mm-hmm. Not learn more. Learn more about what? I want to show you. View the floor plans here. Find your new home. View the photo gallery. Tell them what you want them to do.
Yep.
Rather than just kind of leave it up in the air. Do you want to schedule a tour now? Make sure that it's in the right spot. It's in the right place. Strong call to actions are crucial. I know everybody hates pop-ups.
Oh boy.
Pop-ups are not a bad thing in this industry. Pop-ups can be a bad thing if it's intrusive and it covers the whole page and it doesn't meet Google's guidelines.
It's in the wrong
And
part
it's
of
in
the
the
journey.
Yes.
Not in the right time.
But people come to your website, and the most visited page on your website is
Oh, after the homepage.
after the homepage. After the homepage, what is the most visited website?
Floor plans.
Floor plans. Pricing.
Yeah.
The pricing and floor plans page is the single most visited page of the community website, and so people find value. They come to figure out the price. They also come to figure out what you can offer them. They want to know what valuable thing can you offer me, and that is a special offer. So if you are running a special offer, which a ton of people do,
Yeah.
for the ones that don't run special offers, we have some pretty good stuff to some content around at least enticing people to submit their information.
You have to be clever with your copy.
Yep.
Just because you're not running a special doesn't mean you don't have something great about your community that you
Exactly.
can advertise that they don't know about, right? Or maybe it's something through the data that you've analyzed that a lot of your residents really love, right? Just because you're not giving $1,000 off first month's rent doesn't mean that a pop-up would be a bad thing. It could be something that's very convincing for that person based on the data that you've analyzed over time that's important to people that live there.
Maybe they want to live at your place and they just don't see the availability or the floor plan that they want. So maybe having a pop-up, submit your information, and you'll be the first that we let know about our availability and exclusive leasing offers. That's something that's enticing, that's valuable, because they might have came there, they didn't find what they want, but they still wanted something.
Yeah.
It just wasn't available yet.
Yeah.
They're holding off. So I think pop-ups, I know pop-ups are a great thing. They're great at lead gen. If you set them up properly, they're an extremely powerful tool for your website.
It's great for multifamily. It's great when it's something that people want or that means something,
Yeah.
right? You used to always say that, when you go to a blog post, it's like top 10 whatever about.
It's like, I don't want that shit.
No, I don't want that shit. But people are literally coming to your website to find out your pricing and special offer. Like,
Yeah.
show it.
Give them the shit.
Give them the shit they're looking for,
All right. So I don't know if we kept it simple on this podcast, but
Complicated a
we
lot of
complicated a little bit, but
Every time.
But that's what we're
We care about what we're talking about, man. We can't help ourselves. So, I mean, it's going to happen every time.
for sure. All right, guys. So thank you for joining us on this podcast. It was about community websites. Don't overcomplicate things. Give you a little rundown. Keep it simple. Make it easy to navigate. Make sure it's responsive. Mobile first.
Mobile first.
Photography and video. Don't scrimp. Don't scrimp out on it.
Don't scrimp.
Understand the prospect journey. Make sure that you really understand that journey from
Yeah.
start to finish, and then having strong calls to action.
Yep.
So appreciate you guys joining us. Please follow us on LinkedIn, YouTube, podcast, all the things. If you have any,
Reply360.com.
reply360.com. And if you guys have questions or if you want us to take a look at your websites or give you some feedback, get a hold of us. Appreciate you.